Rick's List, CNN weekday afternoons, 3 Eastern.
It's never the crime, it's the cover-up, and I think they obviously were unaware that they were being videotaped. There isn't any question, Rick, and normally I will not go out on a limb.
We're looking at the video here. This is where police officers say he struck them. Does it look to you like he struck them or did something to that horse?
Rick, I'm going to surmise this whole thing for you, that you're going to see arrests of these police officers, criminal prosecutions, lawsuits, and you may have the FBI involved in investigating this under what we would call color of authority. There is nothing in that young man's actions that should have precipitated this type of encounter with this law enforcement agency.
Well, here's what they've told us, and we have been calling them all day today. They have released a statement now essentially saying that, in fact, they will drop the charges against this young man and that at least one officer has been suspended and that 2 others will possibly be suspended. When we asked if charges are going to be filed, they said no, we're only looking at suspensions at this point. When we asked if they would be suspended with pay or without pay, they said with pay. I don't know about you, but I think people listening to what I just said would be appalled.
Well, what they're doing here, Rick, is they're taking a bad situation and making it worse, because just as you and I are reviewing this tape, so is the FBI. That's all I'm going to say to you. And one of the things you cannot do is lie during an investigation, and they've already started to do that. So you're going to see basically these officers terminated, criminally charged, the parents of this poor young man suing this police department, and you know, it's just a black eye and an embarrassment to law enforcement, because this is an anomaly, fortunately.
But Lou, you're a cop. You've got experience with this. When are they going to learn? Why is it taking so long? People right now watching this tape, I guarantee you, are wanting these guys to be in jail, and yet they're not even naming the names of the police officers. They said there's 1 suspended, 2 others maybe, and they're not quite sure who they are. You know they know who they are.
Rick, all I'm going to tell you is that at times the wheels of justice turn slow, but they turn. And I will tell you flat out and unequivocally, you're going to see loss of employment. You may see the removal of the head of this agency. You have to understand the condition that exists in all walks of life, whether it's journalism, law enforcement, Wall Street. The fish stinks from the head down. Whatever is tolerated by the chief administrator of this law enforcement agency is going to basically translate to his employment. And there's nothing that you can say that explains what went on here. And as we already have identified, they've started the cover-up by, how would you say, dissemination of inaccurate or untruthful information. And I'm embarrassed, having been a former law enforcement agent, to have to look at a tape like this.